And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Tiffin. Now what is Tiffin? What does that mean? Well, Tiffin is this is based on the city of Mumbai, and in that city, every day people eat lunch, and little delivery men go from all the different restaurants and take little tins full of lunches to these people, and those lunches are called Tiffins. This is a theme that's pretty interesting to me. I used to live in Korea. Similar thing happened there where little guys on motor scooters and bikes would go around and deliver lunches to people, and I really enjoyed that. And so that's what you're doing in this game. You are running one of these services, delivering lunch to people on different delivery routes and trying to get the most points. Let's take a look. In this game, players are trying to get the most points on this scoring track here. So if you have a hard time seeing this scoring track, you're probably not alone, but it goes from 1 to 10 to 11. So it actually zigzags back and forth on this grid. I thought this was a prototype scoring track, but apparently this is what's actually in the game. So players are going to start with a handful of cards. These cards are going to have numbers on them from 1 to 4 in different colors: red, green, blue, and yellow. And then there's also wild, the gray ones that can be played anywhere. And on your turn, a player has some actions that they can take. They can take one action on a player's turn. One of the things they can do is they can pick a route that has not been started. There are 3 random routes here. There's lots of different routes in the course of the game. They're all double-sided. So when you shuffle, you can mix the different sides, and these different routes are going to come out. So on a route, you can place a Tiffin. So if there's no Tiffin there, you'll place it in this one. If there's already one there, you would place one here. Then that's your whole turn. You can place Tiffin. Now, if the route has started, which means there's cubes up here, you can no longer place Tiffins at the bottom. So you place a Tiffin there. Another thing that you can do is you can take cards. You can take 2 cards. You can take them from the 6 face-up cards here, or you can take them from the top of the deck, or you can mix them. In fact, there's even a special rule that says if you take ones, you can take both ones as if it was one of your cards that you take. In fact, if there's 4 ones, you could take all 4 of them. So you're going to draw cards in your hand. Or you can play a card. When you play a card, you're going to be adding and starting a route. Now, you can't start a route until there's enough Tiffins on that route. And you can tell that by here. The minimum Tiffins per route, 1. So as long as there's 1 Tiffin per route, you can start the route. Now, as the game goes by, these cards are going to change every time a route finishes. So eventually you'll need 2 Tiffins on a route before you start it, and eventually 3 Tiffins on a route. When you start a route, you simply just play that card, and you are going to be able to put that many cubes on that route to get that route started. Again, as long as there's a Tiffin there. The 2s have a special ability. You can play them with a 2 card with this on the same or different route of their color. So you can play 2s together. I could play both of these and put 2 on a yellow and 2 on a red. The 3 has a special ability where you can put a Tiffin on the same route as this card before playing. So if it hasn't been started yet, and let's say maybe there's a blue Tiffin here, I can play the 3. I would put 3 yellow cubes there and add a Tiffin there too before I start the route. A 4, this one here can be played as a 2 of any color rather than just a 4. And the 1, you can play with another number of 1 routes on routes of their color. So you can play as many 1s as you want, or you can play and draft a card from the middle. So each of the numbers has a special ability. Now, when a route is completely filled up, you are going to score that route. The number of Tiffins is going to determine the score, and you're simply going to count who has the most cubes. So when this fills up to 10, whoever has the most cubes is going to get 10 points because there's 2 Tiffins. If there had been 3 Tiffins, it would be 15 points. Second most, 9, then 3. So you can see that the more Tiffins there are, the more valuable the route is. The people who have the Tiffins are also going to get points based on what the Tiffin delivery fee is. So here the Tiffin delivery fee is 6, so they would get 6 points each. As players are playing cards over the course of the game, sometimes these cards will show these delivery men here. When that happens, the competitor track will move up 1 every time one of those symbols. And when a competitor track fills up completely, we reset it, but you'll draw 2 cards. And if there's colors, place that many competitors on that route if it's open, which could cause the route to fill up or just block other people from getting the route. When a route's completed, it's scored, placed away. We draw another route. We flip the top card here, which might change the minimum Tiffins per route and the delivery fee. And we keep going till we get to the last card, and after that card is done and the last deliveries are finished, over here we will check who has the highest score, and that person is the winner. I should mention, by the way, that you have a hand limit of 7, so you can only draw so many cards. Now, as I said, I really enjoy the theming of Tiffin. I enjoy the idea of delivering the lunches to people, and the concept is good. Each player has 2 extra cards that they'll play with, a flat tire and a shortcut where you can lengthen or shorten a route, and that all sounds thematically good. But I think the theming breaks down, especially in regards to the components. The components for this game are just bad. That score track is possibly the worst score track I've ever seen. There may be worse ones, but that one is awful. It's hard to follow. You can never tell who's winning. You're moving lots of points on all the time. They're easily jostled. Just a massive failure. And I think the rest of it's bad too, because the artwork is okay, but it's so dark. It's so hard to see. Mumbai is a bright, vibrant city, and this artwork doesn't come through. Black borders on the cards. The quality of the tiles themselves are not that good. It's just kind of an overall, to the game itself. I mean, the box cover is nice. But the box cover has some brightness to it. The game itself does not. That's just the graphic design and the components. I don't think they're very good. But you know what? I also hate the game. I didn't dislike the game. I actually really, really disliked it. It's an area control game. And I like area control games. You're basically trying to have the most on each route before it goes off. But it has this chicken element to it, which is one thing I don't like, because you can't start a route till there's a Tiffin on it. The Tiffins don't get you that many points. Now, later in the game, they can get you 6 points each, but at the beginning of the game, they don't get you many at all. So why would I want to put a Tiffin on it? You put a Tiffin on it. You start it off. Now, you can wait till the competitors put Tiffins on it, but it's kind of like this, oh, I'll do a Tiffin. Yeah, good, thanks, now I'll do it. But here's the deal. And this kind of ties into my second point, the cards are totally uneven. You might get really unlucky. You're like, oh, I've got a handful of red cards, and a red route doesn't show up for most of the game. That's just not, I don't see how that's fun. I mean, the routes are not evenly colored because they're flipped on both sides. It's possible to have a whole ton of one color come out. And if someone happens to have a lot of that color from their draws or what have you, they're going to naturally do better. And the 3 cards are amazing because you can put a Tiffin out and then immediately start the route. You don't have to worry about that game of chicken. And so a 3 card is better. I got to the point where anytime a 3 card was never in the lineup because people would always take it, even for a color that wasn't out there, because it was that good later on. And while you can take 2 1s, 2 1s are still considerably less useful than a 3. Ooh, you can play as many 1s as you want. That actually would make sense, but they have a hand limit of 7 cards. So because you have a hand limit, you really can't have a ton of 1s. And the 2s are okay. You can play 2 2s together, but still, playing 1 4 is better. And the scores are kind of all over the place. One route, if you have 3 Tiffins on it, and then someone wins that route, they get, 24 points. And then I win a route and I get 5. Yeah, 5 and you get 24. It means I would have to get 4 more of these routes to beat you. And so the points, every game I played, the scores were extremely wildly swingy. So all this mixed together just left a really sour taste in my mouth. I wanted to like the game. I thought the theme was cool and unique and original, but the graphic design and components are just a mess. And the gameplay itself is very uninspired. And it just seems like, oh, you had the right cards at the right time. And I should also mention, with 4 players, incredibly chaotic. It's like, ooh, I'm going to control that route. No, you're not. They're going to fill it up before your turn comes around again. So draw, hope you get what you want, try to fill the routes up. It sounds better than it plays, which is unfortunate. This one's a pass. Dice Tower Judgment, misdelivery.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.